Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're back with another Boston Celtics video, and today we're talking about the Celtics trade plans. Last little bit before the start of the preseason, which is tonight, as you're listening to this. John Hollinger recently joined the Zach Lowe show and discussed what the Celtics could potentially have to do at the deadline, including maybe trading Sam Hauser. We can discuss it, but I'll play the clip here so you can hear the full conversation that Zach and John had on the Zach Lowe Show podcast. So here you go. Here's what they said.
Do you want me to go super obvious, or do you want me to go like splashy? You decide the genre.
All right, let's go splashy.
The Boston Celtics are one of my 5 most confusing teams. Did you have them or no?
I did not. I do not feel that confused by them.
Okay. Are you just confident they're going to be aggressively mediocre?
Yeah, 100%. Like they're going to trade Simons for somebody who makes less, or they'll trade Hauser, like one or the other, to get themselves out of the tax entirely, and just spend the rest of the year positioning themselves for next year. Right? They have 3 good perimeter guys who will make them respectable, and their front court will be embarrassing, and that's kind of where they'll end up. And maybe.
All right. Well, that's their belief, their harsh reality, but
it's bad vibes going into preseason game 1.
But yeah, apparently they believe that the Celtics will end up trading either Simons or Hauser before the deadline comes around.
Yeah, Hollinger's been kind of down on this team. He went under on the win total in the Athletic predictions and was like very blunt in saying, like, for them to hit whatever it is, like 42.5 wins, 41.5 wins, like everything's going to have to go right in his opinion. So he does not think highly of the Celtics, which is fine. Like, that's just part of, like, national media does not have high expectations for this team, which for them internally will probably make things a little bit easier. For the fan base, it'll make things a lot more fun to enjoy, because there's not the, if they don't win a championship, they're cooked, like embarrassing season, all of that stuff. But to get back to the actual point of this, Brad Stevens did come out and say, like, the objective was the second apron. Like, at media day, he made a point to say that. Granted, I don't really know if he would have been like, yeah, some of these guys you're going to talk to today, they won't be here in April. It just won't be happening. We're getting rid of somebody else. Because had he said that, much of us would be like, oh yeah, well, there's only 2 big-time contracts they could move without significant, consequences. And that's Sam Hauser, Anthony Simons, as John Hollinger mentioned. I don't know how you feel about it, but Bobby Marks did a similar thing for ESPN, wrote like trade predictions for each team, and more or less said nothing about the Celtics, just kind of said, like, it's going to come down to Anthony Simons and what they want to do with him, which we all already knew. So maybe Jack and I do know what we're talking about. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's inevitable that they will trade, or at least like consider trades for Anthony Simons. I mean, all the reporting has indicated that they've been doing just that all summer, and so I don't think that's going to change by the deadline. Like, unless he looks incredible and says like, yeah, I'm absolutely staying in Boston, and maybe there's a small world where it's like, maybe we keep him around and resign him. But even then, like, he will just be free to do whatever he wants in free agency. So there's really no guarantee that he'll be back, and so that's an inherent risk losing him for nothing. Brad Stevens did say there's no direct goal to duck the tax. Then again, there probably wasn't a direct goal to duck the tax when they traded Daniel Tice at the deadline all those years ago. And then they realized that, we're not as good as we thought we'd be. So now let's go try to do something else. And inevitably that could happen this year. If the Celtics are worse than a lot of people expect, worse than they expect to be, then who knows what's going to happen. I still think Sam Hauser is too important a piece to a championship caliber team on a contract that he is on to just dump him for nothing. If you get a first round pick, 2 first round picks, like, I guess you'd understand it, but I don't know, man. Him, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, to me, I think are just the perfect Jason Tatum surrounding pieces to compete for a championship. So I don't know why you would trade them, because the only thing you would do with those first round picks is probably trade for guys to help Tatum compete, and you already have the guys. So that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But if they do get to a point where they're not winning enough to justify paying the tax, they would rather just reset it, then who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like a part of that where, like, if you want to talk about getting picks back, I don't really know what the return for either of these players is going to look like. Clearly, whatever they're going to get for Simons is going to be very unimpressive. Otherwise, they would have probably done it already. That's all of the rumblings we heard over the summer pointing to the Celtics being interested in trading him. Sam Hauser hasn't directly been like reported as someone they were shopping, but the math is making people speculate that he's somebody that is going to get traded or has the potential to be traded. And maybe his value is a little bit different because his contract is worth less money. His skill set is important to winning, and he's one of the elite shooters in the NBA, like truly one of the best, and they don't grow on trees. As much as everybody can kind of shoot now, they're not all built like him. If you were to get first-round picks back for Sam Hauser, depending on what team you're getting it from, thinking from a logistical standpoint, if a team's trading multiple firsts for Sam Hauser, they are not going to be bad. They can afford to give you multiple first-round picks for a guy who's probably going to cement their rotation and put established role players around their superstar, whoever it may be, right? Okay, so the initial thought would be, oh, getting first-round picks is really great because you can get players who can help you and fill out your rotation and not have to pay them much money. So you don't run into this same situation we just saw over the summer. But given the circumstances, it doesn't really feel like that's going to be super realistic. So you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. And this is a long-winded way of saying I kind of agree with Jack. I don't really know what you're going to get back for Sam Hauser that's really going to make it worth it. If Bill Chisholm and company really, really care about the luxury tax and they are truly committed to avoiding that, sure, like that's just the goal. But it doesn't appear to be the case. And as far as like the team starts the season, doesn't look as good as you thought, maybe that's the case. Maybe you can talk me into it then. But the messaging from the Celtics has been vehemently that they believe that they can compete. Even like maybe I don't think anybody's like come out and been like, we're going to win a championship, but like they don't sound like a team that is like, well, we went through a lot of changes this summer. We don't really know how it's going to go. Like they're acknowledging the change, but they're not using it as a crutch. And that is important messaging to me.
Yeah, I don't think the Celtics should trade Sam Hauser. I've said that all summer. I think there's obviously exceptions to the rules. Like the Warriors wanted to trade for Sam Hauser. Those picks would inherently be more valuable because they have a very old team and Steph Curry's not going to be around forever, right? So like they could be worse by the time the picks kick in. You look at the Kevin Huerter trade a few years ago between the Hawks and the Kings, right? Like the Kings traded for Kevin Huerter because they're like, oh, we're going to be pretty good. Let's be good. And then, well, they're the Kings, right? So they're just, it is always valuable to a degree to trade for future first round picks so many years out because you don't know what's going to happen. But it just doesn't feel like the Celtics should trade a role player at the caliber of Sam Hauser. And if Anthony Simons looks good too, then don't trade him either. Like it's going to be a line they have to, carefully cross when the deadline comes around. But let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of John Hollinger's take and everything like that. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every single day. New content dropping in the morning. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps. One getting embedded into the pod tomorrow. How excited are you? And other videos like these are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want those, follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Read them every single time we do a full pod, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.